Before the captivity into Shushan, Persia, life in Israel was great. Children played, sang, and danced. The streets were merry, and the feasts were celebrated with honor and dignity. Esther, or Hadassah, which means hidden, is a Persian word for star, and she brought joy to the home and happiness to her parents. Mordecai was always actively involved in Esther's life as a young girl. As a family member, he would oftentimes assist her parents in caring for her. The providence of God was already at work in their lives. Yes, indeed, life was good. Although the names of God is never mentioned in the book of Esther, come with us on a very fascinating journey that will show you the power of God in the life of this Hebrew girl and her cousin Mordecai. Ravaged by severe conflicts, their homes and families destroyed, the children of Israel, without warning, had to leave the comforts of their dwelling places in haste. With the security and strength of the family weakened, they journeyed into the face of uncertainty. Torn apart by war, separated from their loved ones, grieving the loss of friends and family, they traversed into a country that was foreign to them in every way imaginable. With her parents dead and no one else available to care for Esther, Mordecai was determined to keep close watch on his cousin. He would ensure that she would not forget her heritage in this unknown land with its unknown gods and heathenistic customs. She would not forget. He would see to that. The feasts, the Passover, and especially one commandment, "You shall have no other gods before me," would be rehearsed in her hearing day and night. He told her about the civil and ceremonial laws, the Sabbath, the Talmud, the Torah. He told her that Israel was the land promised to Abraham, their forefather. He encouraged her to believe that this unknown land was simply a means to a greater end. Finally, he gave her a gift that she would wear under her clothing at all times. A gift that would make her remember the rich, vibrant, colorful, and godly heritage into which she was born. As he put the Star of David around her neck, he whispered in her ear, "Remember your young days in Israel. Never forget." Captivity brought these cousins together as father and daughter. She honored him, and he loved her. Unknown to this Jewish family, their lives were about to take a turn that would propel them into divine history.
I could not believe it. He wanted me to do what? It was absurd, ridiculous. I told that servant to go back and tell my husband I would not honor his preposterous request. Frankly speaking, I thought he had a little too much wine. That is the only explanation I could think of that would cause him to make such a senseless request. To ask me to... the nerve! The unmitigated gall! Let me start from the beginning. In the 3rd year of my husband, King Xerxes' reign, he decided to throw a party to show off the huge wealth of his empire and its stunningly beautiful royal splendor. He invited all of his officials, ministers, the entire military, and all the princes and governors of the provinces. The officials of the party partied 6 months straight. Drinks were served in one-of-a-kind gold chalices, and oh, how the royal wine flowed. The guests were told to drink as much as they wanted, king's orders, and the party began.
One, two, three, hey!
Believe that the sky is the highest thing in life, but I believe it's just the highest thing they've seen. Well, you better believe there's someone beyond that big blue thing, and he's the biggest, greatest thing, the biggest, greatest thing I've never seen. It's been said there's nothing deeper than the ocean's deep. But could it be that's just too far for the human mind to think? But I know someone more intelligent than words can speak. And he's the biggest, greatest thing, the biggest, greatest thing I've never seen. The moral of the story is there someone that's definitely bigger, greater than your mind could think? I know that you are wondering if everything we're saying here is make-believe, but it's reality. And if you look around, he's everywhere to be found, 'cause he's the biggest, greatest thing, the biggest, greatest thing I've ever. I know one day I'll see his face. Man, I can't wait.
you hear it jump? Can't you hear it jump? Can't you hear it jump? Thank you very much and have a good night.
Not to be outdone, I threw a separate party for the women in the palace and the wives of the officials. We enjoyed ourselves immensely.
ਯਿਸੂ ਦਿਆਂ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸਾਂ ਨੱਚਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਾਖਰੂ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਮੱਚਣਾ ਯਿਸੂ ਦਿਆਂ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸਾਂ ਨੱਚਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਾਖਰੂ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਮੱਚਣਾ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਨੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਣੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਾਨੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਏ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਯਿਸੂ ਦਿਆਂ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸਾਂ ਨੱਚਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਾਖਰੂ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਮੱਚਣਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਜ਼ਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਮਾਫ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਹੂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਫ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਜ਼ਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਮਾਫ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਜ਼ਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਮਾਫ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਜ਼ਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਮਾਫ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਏ ਨਾਮੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੁੱਖਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਬਚਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਾਕਰੂ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਮੱਚਣਾ ਯਿਸੂ ਦੇ ਗੀਤਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸਾਂ ਨੱਚਣਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਪਾਕਰੂ ਅੱਗ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਮੱਚਣਾ ओ मेरी जाने जिंदगी दी शान ओ मेरी जाने जिंदगी दी शान किन्ना है प्यारे ओदे नाल दसना यीशु देयां गीतां उत्ते असां नच्चना लेके पाकरू अग वांगू मचना यीशु देयां गीतां उत्ते असां नच्चना लेके पाकरू अग वांगू मचना 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 लेके पाकरू अग वांगू मचना
Outlandish request. He wanted me to do what? After 6 months and 1 week of partying, my husband, the king, summoned me to come and stand before him and his drunken guests, wearing my royal crown, and only my royal crown. I am the queen, not some lowly concubine. No one parades me around a bunch of drunken men, no matter how high their rank, wearing only my royal crown. So as I told you earlier, I sent back word saying I will not honor such a ridiculous, preposterous, and highly insulting request. I didn't care that it came from the king. He is my husband and should show me some respect. After all, I am Queen Vashti. He sent his men to come for me? Yes, let them come. Queen. My refusal angered the king greatly. Can you believe that? So his advisors told him to banish me from his presence, and he did. Then came the search for a new queen. Hundreds of young, beautiful virgins yearned for my place, each of them parading themselves in front of the king, hoping, praying, wishing to be chosen to wear the crown. I hoped he would reject all of them. I wanted him to hate every single one of them. I couldn't believe this was happening. He really did search for a new queen. The prospect of hundreds of maidens bowing at his feet gave him the strength to call for a celebration.
The drunken king listened to the other kings from India and from Ethiopia. He gave ear to his governors and to his advisors. He listened to their solid and severe argument to banish the queen from the kingdom. They wanted all the women in all the kingdoms to realize the harsh treatment they would receive for disobeying their husband's commands. Torn, because he loved Vashti, drunken, and under close scrutiny of the other kings, he gave into the pressure of his reveling guest and officially and permanently banished his queen from the kingdom. Thus began the search for a new queen.
Virgins received 1 year of beauty treatments before being presented to the king. One by one, they were escorted to his chambers in the evening and escorted from his chambers the next morning, never to return unless requested by the king. Each of those ladies paraded themselves with all kinds of provocative dancing in front of my king, dreaming they would be chosen to wear the crown, my crown.
How many minutes in an hour? How many hours in the day? How many days complete a week? How many weeks make up a year? Facts like this don't seem to matter when I think how long I'm gonna love you. Our love is timeless, it's endless. Baby, I know that this can withstand the
start. I could fill 10,000 pages with the praises of my heart. Thoughts and phrases flood my mind as I reminisce, but each word will have to wait in line as I tell you this. I simply love you. I love you. What more can I say to try and convey that I love you? I love you. This is forever. There's nothing better. I love you. I simply love you. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud I can't understand. I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play, or it might be the sound of your hello, this music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. You can say that you're leading me on. Well, it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I've longed? That's why I'm following you. On my own, should I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left hand, my hat from my glove? I'm too misty and too much in love. I'm much too misty and too much in
None of them were fit to be queen. I knew it. The king rejected all of them so far. I thought he would see the futility of all of this and return me to my royal status. I had no idea he would banish me for refusing to. And this campaign to find a new queen. If only I could turn back time, I would have handled things so differently. But I didn't know. How was I to know? He would never find another to take my place, for there is none who qualifies. I am the one and only. Do you hear me? The one and only Queen Vashti. Esther's turn. Everyone loved Esther, even the king's servants, because I heard they assigned her special beauty treatments, special food, and even 7 personal maids. But Esther is a Jew, worse, an orphaned Jew, raised by her cousin Mordecai. Good things don't happen to Jews. If it were known she was Jewish, she would have never been allowed behind the palace walls. But no one knew. I also heard the second the king saw her, he loved her. The king loved Esther more than he loved me. He placed the royal crown, my crown, on her head. He made Esther his queen, and she spent one night with the king.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
One night with the king, changes everything. One day in his courts did forever change my course. One moment in his presence, and I've never been the same. One night with the king changes everything. One night with the king changes
the same. One night with the king, it changes everything. From the desert to the king, it had been my destiny to be chosen for such a time as this. I didn't know that all of my dreams could become realities. Then I saw his face, his love captured me. One night with the king. It really changes everything. How many know that tonight? Just one day in his courts. That's all it takes tonight. It will forever change your course. All you need tonight is just one moment in his presence. How many believe it? Just one moment in his presence. One moment in his presence, and you'll never be the same. One night with the king, it changes. One day in his courts, it changes. One night with the king, it changes. Yes, it does. Everything. I know that it changes everything. Yes, it does.
Yes! Finally! Vengeance! The king dared to banish me and think that his actions would not go unpunished? Not so. I heard there was a plan to assassinate the king. How I came about that information is not your concern. Just listen. The king's guards, the two men who stand watch outside his private quarters, well, they plan to assassinate him. It may not be nice to say, but that bit of information made my heart rejoice. The king must pay for what he did to me. He must pay. I prayed for the guard's success. Oh, I am fully aware that the outcome would not change my current circumstances. However, their success would make me very, very, very happy.
The God who controls the very elements of nature, who never sleeps and never slumbers, was very much aware in the lives of Esther and Mordecai. Man makes plans and devises wickedness in his heart every day, but Jehovah's Sabbath, commander-in-chief of things in heaven, things on the earth, and things under the earth, is a God who is not limited by time and by space as we are. He even controls the heart of a king. Remember, pride goes before a fall, and a haughty spirit before destruction.
On the king's life, oh my, those guards, those fools, they had to be insane to think they actually wanted to kill the king. That is crazy, I tell you. But what was even crazier was that the plot was found out by Mordecai, who then told Esther, who then told the king, and both of the men were tried and executed. You know what I think? I think Mordecai wanted the queen to like him. Yes, you see, that's how those Jews play their game. But I wasn't worried about him because I have plans for this Mordecai. Anyway, after all these things, the king promoted me. I mean, finally, the man made an intelligent decision, showed some initiative, used the wisdom of the gods, and placed me in the position for which I was born. Everyone in the kingdom bowed in my presence as a sign of respect. It was the law, and all obeyed. That is, everyone except Mordecai, the Jew. How dare he not bow to me, the most powerful man in the empire? Oh, that's right, I did mention that before, but it was true. Look, just imagine. I had dinner with the king and the queen. No one else was invited to that royal dinner but I. And they wanted me to come back for another royal dinner. Did they invite Mordecai? Absolutely not. But you see, they didn't have to worry about him, because I have something planned for him. You see, I built gallows on my property using a strong, large noose dangling from it, because I was going to hang that non-bowing, no-good Jew high enough for all the world to see. His hanging would send a message to the entire empire: don't mess with me. Mordecai had to bow to me or he would die. So I planned on discussing the gallows with the king the very next morning, and I was sure that he would agree with me that this non-bowing Jew must be hanged.
king had a restless night. Sleep simply evaded him. He walked the floors of the palace halls. Back and forth he walked in deep thought. He was bored. What could he read? The Chronicles. He beckons for a servant to bring him the records, and he began slowly scrolling through the pages. And to his bewilderment and amazement, he realized that Mordecai was not awarded for saving his life. He calls the servant again and asked him who was in the court. Haman was in the court. "Tell him to come into my chambers at once," declared the king. Oh, by the way, remember that Haman had come into the court to speak with the king about hanging Mordecai on the gallows he had built? Haman was ushered into the king's presence. God's timing is simply perfect. The king asked Haman his opinion. What do you think should be done to the man whom the king delights to honor? Now the vain, self-centered, egotistical, conniving, devious, evil Haman thought the king had him in mind, so the blow to his ego was piercing when he realized that all the pomp, splendor, finery, ceremonial accolades that he recommended were for the Jew he hated, Mordecai. Oh, it was painful as he paraded Mordecai through the streets, saying, "This shall be done to the man whom the king delights to honor. This shall be done to the man whom the king delights to honor."
believe this. I mean, parading this. Oh, it's so bad. Where's my wife? I was never more mortified, embarrassed, and angered. Me, your husband, the great Haman, parading around the disrespectful Mordecai, a Jew, through my streets and in front of you, my people, and in front of my entire family. Oh, how I hated that man. But I swore that he would hang or he would bow. So, being the great manipulator, I inveigled the king into allowing me to come up with a law that would put an end to that disrespectful Mordecai, as well as all of the Jews in the kingdom.
My lord, my husband, you have been patient. You've waited an entire year to devise the perfect plan. We've discussed this over and over and over. Now, I must encourage you to move ahead with this brilliant, monumental, historical, and international scheme. This will make your name go down in history. Tell me a little more about this law.
The law. It was pretty simple. It simply stated that all of the Jews, both young and old, were to be killed, slaughtered, and annihilated in one day. And the property of the dead Jews were to be given to those who killed them. It was pretty simple. I had the king eating out of my hands. And so, with seal in hand, he proclaimed the destiny of the Jews, wiping them off the face of the earth, with Mordecai leading the way. Oh, the joy that filled my soul.
I'm so proud of you, my lord. You are absolutely brilliant.
Yes, I am. Come, I am. I am such a good person.
When Mordecai heard of the new law, he rent his clothes, put sackcloth on his head and on his back, and he walked through the streets wailing. All the Jews mourned with him.
Fresh wind. Fresh wind. Hear my cry, oh Lord. Don't turn your face far from me. Don't turn away from me in my time of trouble. Hear my prayer, oh Lord. Don't turn your face far from me, oh Lord. Don't turn away from me in my time of trial.
Don't turn away from me in my time of trouble.
Incline your ear to me. Answer me speedily. Answer me speedily. God of eternal love. Oh,
Hear my cry, oh Lord.
hear my cry.
Don't turn your face far from me.
Oh, don't turn away.
Don't turn away from me in my time of trouble.
Hear my prayer.
Hear my prayer, oh Lord. Don't turn your face far from me.
Oh, don't turn away.
Don't turn away from me in my time of trouble.
I won't be consumed because of your love. No, no. I won't be consumed because of your
From the hand of my enemy,
Please don't turn away.
don't turn away from me.
You gotta know how much I need you.
I will have the victory.
You are what only
Victory.
gave victory.
Deliver me.
Deliver me
My enemy.
from the hand of my enemies.
Don't turn away from me.
Don't turn away, Lord. Don't turn away. Don't turn away.
Don't turn away from me.
I need you. Told me you'd never leave me. If I am not
I am a Jew, one of God's chosen people, a part of a nation set apart. And I stood up for you, God. I didn't bow down. And now it seems that because of me, all your people are in danger now. royally decreed that all of us are to be killed. Men, women, children, all our blood is to be spilled. Sackcloth and ashes while I cry out to you, Lord. Deliver your people, please come protect and restore. I shout to you, Lord, because you are mighty to save. Come have mercy on us, oh God, save us from man's rage. Man who would kill and destroy us, taking no prisoners, no slaves, just death and destruction, sending us all to our graves, sending us to Sheol where we can no longer give you praise. Yahweh, Yahweh, you rescued us out of Egypt. You helped us cross the sea. In the wilderness, you comforted us and told us how we should be. You gave us judges, gave us kings to govern and to guide, but we still thought you were not enough and bowed down to our idols and pride. And Lord, if this is why you now decide to destroy your people, please, Lord, please reconsider, God. We need you. I was told of a man who was promised descendants as numerous as the stars. I was told of a land, a promised land to which those descendants traveled very far. And I was told of a king, a savior who would come and reign. Yahweh, be our deliverer, put our enemies to shame. Lord, keep your promise to us. Please maintain your word, your truth. Lord, be true to your people. Look down and see our struggle and save us from this evil. God, look at us, see our plight, and be our upheaval. Lord, remember your chosen people, Israel. Remember they were supposed to be a light to the nations. For the sake of your name, Lord, please extend your hand and save them. And if you don't save, in our slaughter we will still give you praise, because you are still God, still Lord, King, the sovereign one. If we perish, we perish. We trust you. God, let your will be done.
I'm crying, Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry. Why on others thou art do not pass me by. Come on, if you're crying, tell them, I'm crying. Come on, tell them tonight. It's a lot of people in here, Jesus, but I need you to hear this cry tonight. Whoa. Anybody calling him tonight? I dare you to raise this one from your belly and say, I need you to. Don't never let go of me.
Word got to Esther concerning Haman's evil plot to annihilate her people, but her response was one of fear and doubt, as she was certain that no one could go before the king for any reason without being called. If the king did not extend his scepter, that person would surely be put to death, and to make matters worse, the king had not called for her in 30 days. Mordecai understood her concern, but he sent word to tell Esther, "Do not think for one moment that you will escape death because you're in the king's house. If you say nothing, our God will surely bring deliverance from another source. But think about this for a moment. Perhaps, my dear Esther, you have come into the kingdom for such a time as this." She immediately sent words back to Mordecai to tell all her people to fast and pray for 3 days and for 3 nights, and she would do the same with her maidens. Her final words to Mordecai were, "I will go unto the king, which is not according to law, and if I perish, I perish."
Father, how we love you today. Yes, yes. Will you just help me bless him right now? Come on, let's corporately, wherever you are, just, if you can, just open your mouth and just begin to declare his praise. Come on, declare his name. Father, we approach you as humbly as we know how. Your sons and daughters, your servants, in this moment of intercession. Father, please hear our prayer.
Serve you every day.
Yes, I
will praise you. Hear me calling, now I pray. I will worship you only. Now I bow before your throne, Lord. Holy Father, hear me calling. This is your service.
Father, if we've ever needed you before, we need you now. Oh, yes. Listen, church. When I'm sad, you make me happy. Keep me safe from hurting high. When I'm burning up, when I'm lonely, comfort me within your arms. Never leave me, never keep me. You are Father anywhere. Holy Father, hear me calling. This is your servant's prayer. Lord.
majesty. The ocean's tempest calms when you say peace. The universe resounds your splendor with worthy praise. Almighty God, to you I am constrained. I'm bound to you with love I can't contain. Oh, I know my duty, I know my purpose is to give you praise. You are my destiny. You are my destiny. Serving you, oh Master, is my destiny. Oh, a lifetime of serving you is what
DNA.
We exist to give you. We exist to give you praise.
Lord, we exist to give you
The assignment I gave you to bring forth in the earth is something that I cannot do. I cannot do in the earth what I have given you to do, which is why I have given it to you. However, I can take care of your life. I can heal your body. I can give you favor with managers and CEOs. I can orchestrate divine appointments with people you need to meet and work with. I can cause someone to give you the money you need. I can give you the strategy to take your product international. I can cause the banker to approve your business loan. I can move the creditor to forgive your debt. I can bring healing to your family and your marriage. I can protect your children. I can do that. But I cannot do what I have given you to do. I cannot do anything in this realm without a body. You are my body. And when you turn your attention away from my purpose to tend your life issues, you leave me and my purpose homeless and hostage in a place where I can do nothing about it but wait for someone else who will take me at my word and let me use them to get my work done here. You don't need to tend the issues of your life. Did I not say in my word that I have given you all things that pertain to life and godliness? I've got your life issues, so we both don't need to be handling them. You cannot do with your life issues what I can do, and I cannot do in this earth what you can do. That is why I tell you not to worry about your life. I have your life. I have always had your life, and now I need you to trust me with it, as I have trusted you with mine. So I challenge you to receive the vision I have of you again. Before the foundations of the world, I knew you. I wrote all the days ordained for your life before you ever came to be. I created your feet and your path. And like I created the blacksmith who blows coals into fire and the spoiler to destroy, I even created the roads in your life that had gone crooked. And since I created them, I can make them straight again.
I heard that the queen had been fasting and praying. But I was certain that after she heard about the new law I made, it would make her feel much better. Who knows? It might have even been an answer to her prayers. Wouldn't that have been something? The answer to the queen's prayers. I was fearful that the king would get too jealous. I am a very desirable man. Is there no end to my magnificence? I can barely stand myself. Oh my, oh my. I also heard that Queen Esther desired an audience with the king without an appointment. Oh, she has to be very careful, because if she went before the king without an appointment and he didn't want to see her, he would not raise his royal scepter. to accept her, which meant death. No royal scepter, no queen. Oh my.
Esther had a lot of thinking and praying to do. Going before the king was a huge undertaking, a risk that could cost her her very life. She thought about her days in Israel and the freedom she enjoyed before captivity. What should she do? The responsibility was too much to bear. It was not fair for her to be the one to carry such a heavy burden. She concluded that all she could do was to trust the God of her forefathers. She touched her necklace and began to pray.
And then came the big night. the night I have been waiting for. You see, the king, the queen, and I were to have dinner in her chambers. Ooh. But I was worried. I was worried that the queen couldn't control herself in my presence. I heard that the entertainment for the night would be, how do you say, provocative? I was getting all tingly just thinking about it. I thought that I would use this opportunity to tell Queen Esther about my plans for Mordecai and the Jews. And she would admire me even more than she already has, if that was possible. The more I thought of it, the more I was sure that it really was a brilliant plan. Just think, I will be solely responsible for killing all of the Jews in the kingdom. Brilliant, I tell you, simply brilliant. I will tell her at that moment.
But before Haman could speak with the queen, the king wanted to know what was on Esther's heart. 2 banquets? 2? Surely she needed something great, and he was willing to give her whatever she needed, even to half of the kingdom. But no, Esther was not thinking about material possessions. She wanted her life to be spared as well as the lives of her people. She seized the opportunity to pull out her necklace and reveal that she herself was a Jew. She fell to her knees before the king and pleaded for her life and the lives of her people, pleading for the king to reverse the edict that he signed to annihilate her people. She further told her husband that the force behind this wicked plan was none other than the evil Haman. Disbelieving this news, the king's anger was heightened. He walked out to his garden to calm down and to process what he heard. Haman took this open door to try and beg the queen for mercy. But in his haste to speak with the queen, he missed a step, tripped, and fell on top of Esther. The king walked into the chambers and found Haman on top of his wife. He beckoned for his sword. Esther came between them. The deputies arrested Haman and dragged him out of the queen's chambers. The king declared, "Hang him on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. Hang him and his entire family."
Hang him on the very gallows he prepared for Mordecai. And hang his family too.
Wait, but how was I supposed to know Esther was Jewish? And how was I supposed to know Mordecai raised her? I was just trying to get her not to tell the king, but I slipped. I didn't mean to fall on her. It was an accident. And then he walked in, and the king thought I was actually trying to molest the queen. Oh, how could this happen to me? What went wrong? I don't want to die. Wait.
Esther realized how close she came to losing her life, her heritage, and her history. She also realized the blessings of God upon her life and the favor she has with the king. She wanted the king to know that it was not her intent to deceive him, and she begged his forgiveness. Our sovereign God is to be honored, reverenced, and obeyed. The Almighty Creator is in charge of everything, and so we bow in obedience to his will and to his way. Because Mordecai purposed in his heart to be faithful and true to the living God, the heritage and destiny of the people were secured. The king gave the house of Haman to Esther, the queen, and he placed Haman's ring on the finger of Mordecai, who became the most powerful man in Persia, second only to the king. Esther once again fell at the king's feet and pleaded with him to reverse the edict that was in place to destroy her people. The king extended his scepter to Esther and gave her and Mordecai the freedom to rewrite this edict as it pleased them. And the Jews were spared because the edict was reversed. The children of Israel, with the blessings of the king, went throughout all the provinces with the lieutenants, the officers, and the deputies leading the way. The Jews destroyed their enemies, and what a great slaughter that was. Mordecai became great in the king's house and was even greater among the Jews, seeking the wealth of his people and speaking peace to all of his seed. The celebration of Purim became a joyous holiday to this day, where the Jews celebrate their liberation from the evil plots of the wicked Haman. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us rejoice.
Unto the Lord, for he is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. Let's say it again. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good. And his mercy endureth forever. Mercy endureth forever. Mercy endureth forever. His mercy endureth forever. Give him praise for his goodness. Give him praise for his kindness. Give now, church. We've come to lift him up. Sing hallelujah. Lift his name. If you're grateful, and if you love him, say, if you're not ashamed to give your God the highest praise, I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praise shall forever be in my mouth. Hey, somebody help me. Help me give him glory. Somebody ought to lift him. Lift his name. Everybody ought to give him the highest praise. We exalt you, God Almighty. We extol you because you're holy. Nobody else can get your glory. Somebody ought to break out in a dance. Give him the highest praise. Yes, we will lift his name. Somebody give him glory.
Oh, Father, how we love you today.
It is really wonderful. I came to support Marcia Frazier and Dawn Edwards. They're friends of mine. We're in the drama team at Brooklyn Tabernacle. But it's a wonderful play. I love the dancing. And the young girls, the dancing is so excellent. They're so sweet. I love the story, the costumes, everything. It's wonderful. I'm glad I came.
We are from Connecticut and we are enjoying the play so far. We try not to miss some of them, but because of how we work and our jobs, that's why sometimes we can't really make it. But every time we are not at work and there's one available, we always try to attend. But we're having a great time, and it's so special in that they included the children, and it's something I think that all churches should do.
It's a wonderful play. The dancing is great. I'm really enjoying it.
We have a friend in there. She's a lead actress in it. She's
Queen
playing Queen Vashti, Marcia Frazier.
Yes.
Amazing.
She's wonderful.
Yes.
What was the line? What was our favorite line?
Don't
Don't worry how I found out.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I heard there was a plan to assassinate the king. How I came about that information is not your concern. Just listen.
Anyway,
that was our favorite line. That's it. So big up to Marcia.
I'm Mordecai in the play. It is a lot of movement for me. And I designed it that way, but then it's like when I'm actually in the play, it's like I forget that I have to wear these beautiful garments of clothing, but then also doing all this crazy movement. And yeah, it's a lot of sweating and toweling off backstage, but yeah, it's good. No, I feel like anybody could play Mordecai. I was just, my unique gifts that God gave me, I'm just using them a certain way, and that Estina and Pastor Bev see and believe in. So I think anybody can play it, but I just have a certain unique touch to it,
This is from Rosie Paris saying the show was awesome.
Wow. Oh my
Thank you, Rosie.
Tell us about the show.
Me? Tell you about the show?
Yeah.
You want me to do it like Rose Paris?
Yeah.
Rose Paris was like, awesome, awesome, awesome. That was Rosie. The play was fun, but there's no way I could have done it without Estina. Estina's a great choreographer, great dancer. And then the children. Oh my God, the kids were absolutely amazing. It's a good show. It really, really is beautiful. And the story is powerful. Yes. That's what's important. So I thank the Lord for the entire cast. They did a good job. Thank you, Stephen, for the video. Everything that you do, Stephen, is good. So thank you for making this show marvelous, and it's heading to Broadway. Hello.
I enjoyed it. We had some challenges, but God brought us right through. So, and everything worked right out, by the grace of God. So I was thankful for that. But God is faithful. God is so faithful.
So tell me about this play.
I think it's an awesome play. As Pastor Bev says, it's a wonderful message. And hopefully someone that was sitting in the audience will receive something from this play and make them a better person.
The play was magnificent. And I believe the fact that you had men dancing in a masculine, powerful way, I think it sent a message to all those who attended that God is powerful, magnificent, and He's everlasting. Amen.
Were you one of the men dancing?
Of course. That's why I'm talking about how powerful they were.
Amen. All right, that's all good. Any men dance with you? Anything?
Yes, there is 5 men total, but 3 of them come from the Church of God of East New York, where we have a dance ministry, and we have several men that dance. And they actually minister. And they minister the words, and they minister to the congregation, but we don't dance for the congregation, we dance for an audience of one, which is God.
Amen. So are these guys over here your
No, these are my brothers.
Your brothers.
But they are not from my same church.
We did all the drama. We did all the drama.
Right.
All good. All right.
Same spiritual mother though.
All right. And who do we have here? Lady?
Sarah.
Sarah. All right. What part did you have to play in the play?
I was
An amazing dancer.
angel over Mordecai. I was an angel with Esther, and I was in the finale.
Amen. So, what is your favorite part of the play?
I think it was when the angel came down with
It's not about you,
the big wings.
Was that you?
Yes.
I would like to please don't trip. Don't let him trip, please. Lord have mercy.
No shame at all. No shame.
No, I'm just saying. I think that was her best part.
Oh,
I wasn't even in that part. No, I wasn't. That's not me. That's you.
Oh, me. Sorry.
Enough about you.
My favorite part was the ending. I like the ending a lot. The finale. We're all dancing together. We raise.
I am from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
am the governor of Ethiopia. So I came to the celebration with the king of Portia. He invited me. All his satraps, all his governors he invited, and I'm one of them. And it was a great celebration. Lots of food, lots of drink.
All right, so you gave the...
30 days, just eating and drinking.
The advice.
Yeah, we had to advise him. He was a tough guy. He really loved Vashti. So we had to convince him that if he doesn't get rid of Vashti, all of us will suffer. Because all the ladies in the kingdom would rebel against us. Because they'll follow what Vashti did. So we had to convince him for manpower's sake. And we're glad we were able to convince him to get rid of her.
I think it was excellent. First class, first rate, excellent performance.
And your favorite part?
The end. I have no favorite part. I like the whole thing. The dancing was excellent.
And tell us the importance of the play. Why have this play?
Because my wife wanted it.
Good answer.
The importance, it just unfolds more of the scripture to more people in a very artistic and creative way, and it makes it very interesting to learn from, because it's based upon the word. So people who receive the storyline and follow it actually are ingesting the scriptures.
The play was good, the costumes, the outfits, everything was nice.
Good storyline.
Everything was good.
And the dancing was on point. It was good. The whole play was good. It was amazing.
Well, I'm a soldier leading the captives from captivity. We whip them. We whip them.
It's very painful.
It can be.
Play. I am one of the prancers. Like, I want to be the next queen. So, yeah. And then,
For the king?
yes, I do.
So how's it feel to be in the play?
I mean, it's good. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
Nerve-wracking?
Yeah. But it's really fun. I like it.
Connie, you doing your stuff?
Yes, sir. Creating Mr. Haman for the second part of the show. Yes. Takeoff here.
I love the fact on how Esther is so brave and confident, especially when all those changes happen in her life.
And then she succeed?
Yes.
How does she succeed?
She succeeded by being true to her heart and being true to the only God.
It was very good. Very good. All the costumes and the story, everything is great. Everything. Good production.
My favorite part of the play is when everybody comes down with the candles and they're on their white, because that really shows how when you're going through something, even though you can't see the angels around you, there's angels coming at you and helping you go through the times that you're going through and helping you helping you like become better, and they're helping you feel better. And it's like a weird thing to explain because you can't see it, but you know it's happening.
I am the prince, soon to be king. You know, me and Haman, we kind of work together on the low. Pastor Bev doesn't know about it though, but we're working together on the low to get rid of the king, so I could be the king. See, I already look better than the king, but.
Well, you know what happened to the last guy who was saying that, right?
Yeah, that's why I keep it on the low. Like, I'm very low key about it. I'm his right hand man. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
Woo! They're not ready for the prince.
So who's the best dancer here?
We're all the best.
To do it again quickly.
Put your foot
That's the word that's on the streets, all right? Because we're so good. So now this is the final show, 7 p.m. I pray the anointing of the Lord on your life. Father, thank you for this cast. Thank you for their commitment, their dedication. Thank you for them remembering their cues, remembering their lines, remembering their dances, everything that they need to do to execute this play in such a way that you get all the glory.
I'm enjoying it pretty well. It's spectacular coloring. It corresponds with the word, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing so far.
So, is it what you expected, or were you expecting something different?
No, actually we got everything that we, so far we thought about the story itself. I'm really just like, love the energy of it all, the cast and the dancing. It's really exhilarating, and I'm just really excited about what's coming.
Above expectations. I'm looking forward to the second half.
What's your favorite part so far?
I like the dancing, and I really enjoyed the part with the king. When the king brought the queen out, that was really a highlight for me.
Enjoy the rest of the play.
We're doing wonderful.
Yes, it's exciting. The costumes are beautiful. The acting, the dancing is lovely. Enjoying it.
The whole presentation is fabulous.
Yes.
I've seen many versions of Esther. This one is definitely one of the best.
Yes.
Excellent.
And Vashti is doing her thing as well.
Yes, I was very impressed at how she portrayed and contributed to getting the story out.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, it's really wonderful. I think so. It's the best play I have ever seen, in the theater.
Yes. I'm enjoying it so far. We do the story of Esther also, but this takes the cake. This has really been a magnificent production.
I like the dancing. The queen is spicy. Spicy. I like how they really are bringing Esther to life, the story of Esther, and especially like the little kids' involvement in it. I'm really enjoying that.
What's your favorite part so far?
So far, my friend Solo. Oh yes, yes, my friend Solo.
What's her name?
Cabal. Shout out to Cabal. Cavalli. Quiet dancer group. Shout out to them.
So far, I have enjoyed myself. I think Beverly Caesar has done a wonderful time and just very gifted writing this play. It is nice. The music sounds great. I love the costumes. and I love the talent in the acting. It's wonderful.
The scenes are so bright, costumes are so beautiful, and the message is outstanding. Everyone should come out. There should be a second, third, and a fourth and fifth run of this play, and many more.
It's really good. Good production, good choreography, great story.
And what do you think?
I echo her sentiments. It's pretty interesting.
Okay, well, it's a wonderful demonstration of creativity to show the beautiful, wonderful works of God and how He works through the lives of the people. And we're happy to be here, and we're having a fabulous time. We'll be back again.
I absolutely love it. I think the costumes and whoever's playing, I know I was looking at my playbill, whoever's playing the role of Vashti, she is really doing a tremendous job. It's a great play.
She's doing great. This
Fabulous,
is
fabulous.
Jaleesa Ravello, Jason, Dad, Alana, and Jason Jr. We're all from the Church of God of East New York in Brooklyn.
Yep.
And
Representing Brooklyn.
Jaleesa is just taking part tonight in this play, and she's doing really great.
Oh man, excited. Yeah, have me anxious to see the second half. Yep. Yeah.
And I'm
very
here
proud
all
of
day,
all the
so it's
dancing and all the performance and stuff. Yep.
And what about you? How do you feel being in the play?
It's really fun. I like being here. I like the dances, everything.
Are you part of
I'm part of the dancers.
Okay, right. And in your church, are you part of the dance ministry?
Yes, I am.
What's the ministry?
Church of God of East New York Dance Ministry. Church of God of East New York Dance Ministry.
Yes.
And are you proud that your daughter is in this play?
Very proud. Very
If there's a
proud.
word for beyond proud, that's the word we're going to use tonight. Beyond proud, yes.
And what about you? How about your sister being in this play?
My sister's really good.
Twins?
Yeah, they're twins
Yes.
actually.
My sister is doing good in the play so far, and I can't wait to see what's next.
All right, well, I'll let y'all go.
Thank
you. A couple minutes.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.